This program is brought to you by Windhoek Lager, the perfect beer after the perfect round. Windhoek Lager. The Castelo de Obidos in Portugal provided a spectacular backdrop to the 2023 edition of the International Pairs World Finals, one of the largest and most prestigious competitions for amateur golfers in the world. This medieval town is located on the Atlantic coast and is one of the most picturesque and well-preserved in Portugal. There are several top-rated golf courses in this area, and the municipality is also home to the famous Praia del Rei golf complex, one of the top golf resorts in Europe, and Royal Obidos Spa and Golf Resort. The Parade of Nations on the eve of the opening round kicked off the tournament. The flags of 17 countries proudly on display, underscoring the global reach of this competition. The history of Obidos dates as far back as 400 BC. This region is steeped in tradition and culture and added a strong and colourful local flavour to the flag ceremony. A great start to the week and an experience that would forever stay with the golfers who'd travelled from all corners of the world. From the opening ceremony to another highlight, the presence of 3 Ryder Cup players, Spanish legend Manuel Pinero, one of the greatest golfers produced by Italy, the charismatic Constantino Rocca, runner-up in the 1995 Open Championship, as well as Northern Irishman Eddie Pollard. Fresh off the back of Europe's win in the Ryder Cup in Italy, the trio not only provided inspiration, but also valuable insight, which was lapped up by the audience.
My view is because the Americans always play at home. You know, the main tour in the world is in America. And they always play at home. They always have the public, the spectators in favor. And they play out of the 4 majors, they play 3 majors in America. And even though when they come into Europe and play the Open, also the spectators are not against them. They're supporting them as well. And when they play the Ryder Cup in Europe, it's the only time that they felt that the spectators are not supporting them.
Early the next morning and after a good night's rest, the golfers were out on the Bom Sucesso golf course, located on Portugal's Silver Gulf coast, close to Obidos and the beaches of Peniche. The tee-off marked the return of the International Pairs World Finals to Portugal. After a number of years in Peninha and Portugal's Algarve region, it moved to Spain in 2022 and now back in Portugal in Obidos, a short drive from the nation's capital, Lisbon.
The journey started with, we partnered with Obidos municipality. We've been here in 2019 to inspect the venue after our 2019 World Final. And we saw it's got a great potential to have a world final. And speaking with Obidos municipality, we decided working together we can have a great partnership at this event and bring golfers from 23 plus countries to this beautiful region in Obidos and host a fantastic world final. The industry is definitely growing. We're growing in our licensees and expanding the events every year. We've recently just signed Japan and Brazil. Fortunately, some of our countries couldn't make it due to unforeseen reasons, but it's constantly growing and the interest is definitely there in the amateur scene.
Travelling from all corners of the world is a major highlight for the amateurs, and playing in Europe even more so. But with international pairs now featuring on all continents, a different destination for the World Finals in the future is a strong possibility.
We're looking at different countries at the moment. We just signed with Brazil and they've also got great venues there. Africa and Vic Falls looks like great regions as well, so it depends where the interest is, and it's quite interestingly enough that especially from the European regions they've been showing a lot of interest in Africa. You've got so much packages you can offer up to them, safaris, and we've got one of the best golf courses, or some of the best golf courses in the country and in the world as well.
The 2023 field included a mixed pairs, a women's team, as well as 3 men's teams from South Africa and 1 from Namibia. All thanks to the support of Namibia Breweries, who are also sponsors of the Windhoek Lager International Pairs Finals in South Africa and Namibia. Through Windhoek Lager, the golfers get amazing opportunities to travel and compete at a higher level.
You played with the Portuguese team today. What a great bunch of chaps. Yesterday we played with some Italians also. Really nice to experience what they think of what's going on around here.
I think it's definitely met it. I think some stuff has exceeded it. I think it's always nice to play in a different country, and also nice to meet a lot of new people.
I've moved from Katoen to Pretoria, but even the Windhoek Pairs, South Africa, is being recommended all over. If you speak to other people, there's another tournament, Race to Dubai. It doesn't compare to what the Windhoek Pairs is giving them. And I think it's one of the most underrated tournaments there is in South Africa for amateurs. What you actually get out of the tournament and how nicely it's organized. It's definitely for clubs to need to get it better out there and more join it.
Alberts and De Bruyn won the Windhoek Lager International Pairs South African finals at Devonvale in 2021, but due to personal reasons could not attend the 2022 World Finals. Through the generosity of Windhoek Lager and International Pairs, they were allowed to travel to Obidos and acquitted themselves well in round one, ending the day 4 points behind leaders Kenya's Ignatius Ngetish and Joel Shebon. In the women's section, Australia's Anne-Marie Cash Tobin and Tracy Kelly enjoyed a 1 point advantage over South Africa's Nita Dalziel and Joy Foster. In the mixed pairs, Uganda's Collins Mesigwa Kagombe and Jackie Kwesiga were in a strong position, 2 points in the clear. Rain and wind greeted the players at the start of the second round, which would produce quite a lot of drama, especially in the mixed pairs and women's section. The Ugandan pair of Kagombe and Kwesiga struggled in the conditions and saw their lead reduced by the South African pair of Gina Woolley and her partner Simon Mottershed. They were level on 74 points after the 2 rounds, forcing a playoff. The Ugandans had 2 opportunities on the 18th playoff hole to clinch the championship, but the putts just wouldn't drop. The South Africans earned the right to travel to Portugal by winning the inaugural mixed pairs Windhoek Lager International Pairs SA at Devonvale Golf and Wine Estate in September 2023. Mottershed represented South Africa in the men's team competition in Spain in 2022 and has been playing golf for years. But after 36 holes at the Dom Sukeso course Obidos, it came down to his rookie playing partner Gina Woolley to clinch the 2023 International Pairs Mixed Pairs Championship.
Simon didn't tell me how many points we needed to get ahead, thank goodness. And then, it was probably best not to know. And then, at the end, Simon got a nice birdie to put us in the position for the playoff. So that was lucky, so that was good. Well played.
Windhoek, just so appreciative of what they do. We've spoken to quite a lot of the other countries here, and they don't get the tiniest little bit of what we get from Windhoek as far as coming over here with all of the gear that we get in the bags and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. The Johan and his team, it's going to be sad not to see them over here again next year. I'd love to do this every year, but absolutely fantastic. They put on such a show here in trying conditions with obviously the logistics of having to organise the ferries and back and forth and the rain we've had and all the rest of it. And just want to say thank you, Johan and your team. Absolutely amazing. I've really grown close to you and your family, and we're going to miss you, not seeing you out here again in the next few years. I think I've got a good 5-year ban now, so it's going to be a while.
After the exciting culmination of the Mixed Pairs Championship, there was more drama to come in the women's competition. Anne-Marie Cash Tobin and Tracy Kelly play out of the Vindaloo Lakes Country Club in Queensland, Australia. The pair held a narrow 1 point lead over the South African pair of Nita Dalziel and Joy Forster after the first round at Bomsukeso. True to the tradition of South Africa-Australia rivalry, the competition was intense and very little separated the two teams going into the final hole. The Aussies struggled over the first 9 holes. First they lost their lead, and then the South Africans, playing out of Ishawi Hills Golf and Country Estate in KwaZulu-Natal, took a 1 point lead at the turn. Cash Tobin and Forster had long-range putts to win it outright for their teams, but both saw their efforts go well past the holes. Cash Tobin still had another putt for 3 points and to force a playoff, but her putt finished agonisingly close. This left Dalziel with a short putt to tap in for a win, and only when she had retrieved her ball did it sink in. They were the winners of the women's section of the 2023 International Pairs World Finals. A 1-point victory for the South African women, repaying the faith and support of the sponsors Windhoek Lager. A long journey from Ishawi to Heronbanks on the Vaal River, where they won the South African final to Obidos in Portugal. The men's competition was more straightforward, but there was some excitement. After years of dominance by the South African and Namibian teams, the local pair of João Oliveira and Nuno Neves were determined to break the African stranglehold, but still found themselves a point behind Kenya's Ignatius Ngetish and Joel Chabon after the first round. The initial stages witnessed a surprising twist as the leading Kenyan team, Ignatius and Joel, faced early challenges, opening the door for the home team of Oliveira and Neves. A spectacular second-round performance from the Kenyan pairing of Anthony Korir and Sam Chekwani propelled them to the top of the leaderboard, intensifying the race for victory. However, the battle was far from over. In a thrilling finish, the Danish pairing of Lars Clausen and Michael Bertelsen secured a commendable third place in the championship, with Kenya claiming the second place. Yet, it was a triumphant tale on home soil, as the Portuguese team of João and Nuno demonstrated exceptional skill and composure, delivering a stellar performance in the closing moments to clinch the prestigious 2023 World Final Championship title.
It's always good to see that different countries or people from different countries can win. It always opens the door to further curiosity and interest about the competition. So I think it's always good, and it always enhances the curiosity out of what can the competition offer. I think it would also be interesting to have the final in other places. So it's always good to win in our own soil, but it's also good now to have the opportunity to win in a different place as well.
The gala evening prize giving and a fitting end to another great tournament, and fantastic colour and tradition added by the Ranco Etnográfico de Capelera cultural dance group. A great evening put on by Obidos.
Having an event, sports like golf, with many countries represented and many continents represented in Obidos, is for us an honor and a huge opportunity for spread and show what we have better in Obidos. It's a territory who have everything to go like a destination for golf, and the people can appreciate also behind the sport something like the beaches, like the gastronomy, the culture, the patrimony, and all the people also, and the traditions.
The 2023 International Pairs World Finals were a major success as a result of the strong teamwork from the international pairs and their franchisees from all over the world. Australia's David and Barbara Sheehan were named Licensees of the Year, while the contributions from the Obidos municipality, represented by the Mayor Felipe Daniel, as well as Bom Sikeso and Royal Obidos Golf Course and Spa were recognised. And finally, time to shine the spotlight on the winners of the respective championships. South African Simon Mottershed and his partner Gina Woolley ended a remarkable year, being crowned International Pairs Mixed Pairs champions. More success for South Africa in the Women's Championship. Joy Forster and Nita Dalziel, all the way from Ishawi in KwaZulu-Natal, returning home with the title. And to crown a very successful event, the local pair of João Oliveira and Nuno Neves were very popular winners of the championship title. Already the regional competitions in all the respective countries around the world have teed off. The race to the 2024 International Pairs World Finals is in full swing. This program is brought to you by Windhoek Lager, the perfect beer after the perfect round. Windhoek Lager.